If you are trying to decide between Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT for your business, you can stop comparing their IQ scores. You are evaluating two interfaces that share the exact same brain. As you can see in this structural breakdown, both platforms currently run on OpenAI's GPT 5.4 models. That shared baseline creates a dilemma for any buyer with a $30 monthly budget. Nobody wants to pay for redundant tools or commit to the wrong software ecosystem. At a glance, the confusion is justified. On the surface, it looks like you are simply purchasing different user interfaces to access the same product. The real decision is not about selecting a specific chatbot. It is about choosing the data architecture that will dictate where and how your company's work happens. The common perception is that the Microsoft and OpenAI partnership means they act as a single, unified tech entity. In reality, Microsoft's leadership is actively decoupling its infrastructure from OpenAI, investing billions into independent compute partners like CoreWeave to ensure its own autonomy. At the same time, Sam Altman is pushing OpenAI to build its own standalone ecosystem, developing custom applications that compete for the same enterprise users. This corporate divergence means that a purchasing decision today locks your business into two increasingly competitive and distinct future environments. The primary differentiator for Microsoft 365 Copilot is a concept called data grounding. Copilot securely sits inside your Microsoft 365 boundary. Your private data remains isolated, never used to train public models. Inside, the semantic index and Microsoft Graph map relationships between files, emails, and chats, providing rich context to the AI. This enables practical outcomes. You can instantly generate a presentation or summarize an internal meeting based strictly on your private corporate PDFs and emails. The major trade-off is that this contextual power relies entirely on the Microsoft environment. If your workflows live in Slack or Google Workspace, this intelligence layer has nothing to read. Copilot is an orchestration engine that turns your existing Microsoft tenant into a secure, contextual-aware workspace. ChatGPT Enterprise operates as an open-ended cognitive workspace. It functions independently of any specific Office suite. Its strengths are unconstrained tasks, performing deep research, running autonomous agents, and executing complex code generation. Because it isn't restricted to an internal network, it excels at cross-referencing external data and executing complex reasoning tasks across any industry. The trade-off is the lack of automatic context. ChatGPT does not have native access to your company data, which requires employees to manually upload documents or build custom API bridges. ChatGPT provides superior raw cognitive flexibility, but it requires the user to manually bring the business context to the AI. For developers building custom tools, the choice is routing through Azure OpenAI or using the native OpenAI API. Azure provides the enterprise benefits many organizations require, including HIPAA compliance, regional deployment controls, and native Active Directory integration. Effectively, Azure provides the security wrapper for OpenAI's raw models, acting as the necessary bridge for risk-averse companies. Behind the scenes, the engineering behind Copilot is shifting. Microsoft is evolving the platform into a multimodal environment, moving away from a total reliance on OpenAI infrastructure. Microsoft is now introducing its own proprietary models, MAI-1 for advanced text tasks and MAI Voice 1 for rapid speech generation. These models are optimized for speed and efficiency. They allow Microsoft to lower operational costs while keeping performance high within the Copilot ecosystem. The trade-off for the end user is that Microsoft may route your queries to these internal models rather than OpenAI's absolute frontier technology. Investing in Copilot today is a bet on Microsoft's curated, multi-model future rather than a simple subscription to OpenAI's latest releases. The financial hurdle is the $21 to $30 monthly cost per user on top of your existing Microsoft licenses. This shift is already visible in the market. Microsoft's latest results show operating income increasing 21%, driven by massive shifts in enterprise cloud and AI spending. To justify that license cost, you only need to hit the 54-minute break-even metric. If the tool saves an employee roughly 1 hour per month, the license is fully paid for. For organizations deeply integrated into Microsoft, the ROI of secure workflow acceleration makes the upfront license cost negligible. The final decision for your business depends entirely on the specific environments where your organization's daily work actually happens. You should choose Copilot if you have strict data compliance needs and your team relies heavily on internal teams and office communications. You should choose ChatGPT if you have specialized teams that need unconstrained reasoning, deep coding assistance, and external research capabilities. The most effective 2026 strategy is a hybrid model, deploying both tools to leverage their specific strengths across different departments. Choose Copilot to safely automate your company's internal history. Choose ChatGPT to aggressively build your external future.